Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of, oh my gosh, what are we even called anymore? The GLP-1 Support Squad, Body, Mind, and Spirit. I have to say, first of all, welcome and thank you for being here. And thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and please like and share it with your friends. We are here to help support those of us who are on a GLP-1 medication journey. And as I'm coming into almost a year, it'll be a year next month. It's so much more than just weight loss. That's like a bonus, but what got us to these high numbers in the first place and what's stopping us from continuing, and it's such a roller coaster ride. It's like so full of emotions and like for me, being a food addict, perhaps, or at least that's what the label is. I don't know if that's true, but sugar and flour, that's my dopamine. That's my feel good. That's what I learned. My mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, it's in my lineage, it's in my ancestry, and it's time to stop. So I just got back from Guatemala, which was an amazing trip, but Guatemala has like 78% poverty. And we actually went to, this was for work, for a board retreat. And we actually visited one of the organizations that we support and give financial money to. And it was hard. I mean, there was so much love and so much joy, but just to see what they live in. And not so much the kids, but a lot of the parents too, like single moms that have 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds, but they're only 30, which means they had their first child at 11 and they're having trouble. And how do we help that? And I just came back so despondent and then I come back to political chaos. And I don't care what side of the spectrum you are on, hate and guilt and all of this stuff. And I was just in a really bad place. And so I went to my chiropractor, who's also a healer, and a witch. But what? And I'm about to get really, really woo woo, and it's okay. Just listen to me, right? So I was in a bad place. And sometimes then when I go to my chiropractor, I sit in the chair and I see this image of this guide or whoever, I don't know, it's a guy, and he looks like Jim Morrison. Now, if I was going to like conjure up a guy, it's not going to look like Jim Morrison, not my type, right? So I see this guy and he's like really depressed and whatever. And I'm just like, what the hell? Why are you depressed? Why are you even here? So, and then she does some work and she starts talking about, and this is going to be another topic someday, talking about willpower. And it's not willpower. It's you have a will, right? You have an intention. You have a desire. That's your will. And then you have the power, right? So if you take it, not willpower, but will, desire, intention, like this is what I want to manifest, right? My right sized body. For since I was 5 years old, my right sized body, that's my will, that's my intention. And then the power comes from within, right? But when you're in it, when you're depressed or in this low vibration, you can't get your power. Where's your power? Your power is just like, give me more food to make me feel better because I can't function. And work is crazy and politics are crazy. My neighbors are crazy and I'm doing a kitchen renovation and that, right? So I'm in it. So anyway, as we're going through this, and she just starts saying stuff from her guides. And again, I'm sorry, it's woo woo, but this is just what happened. It's an experience. Take it for what it is. So we do it, and I feel the stuff coming out of my head. And then we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, my Jim Morrison guide, he has this big smile in his face, and I feel so light, and I feel full of light. And I was like, and I started crying. Now, I'm not a crier. I cry when like, oh, that was beautiful. Thank you. Or I cry at movies. But for me, I don't cry. Like somebody dies, if it's somebody else, but if it's my own thing, I'm like, all right, what do we have to do? I get into go mode, right? And like, so I don't feel that stuff, right? So anyway, so then we did the second part of the workshop, which was this diamond radiant therapy, which is a diamond that is perfectly cut to match the 7 colors of the chakras, the 7 colors of the rainbows. And she just passes around and you feel the light energy come into you. And I was closing my eyes, and then all of a sudden, riding into my spine were these little guys, like, and the chiropractor is saying, all your ancestors are here, blah blah blah. And I see these little bearded, redheaded boys, men, coming in the back of my spine on this like magic carpet rainbow cloud, right? And I'm like, what is going on? This is what I'm thinking, right? And I feel them go in and they start swirling around and and the chiropractor's going around to the people in the group. There was 8 of us. And she's like, okay, Kara. Oh, okay, yeah. Wow, you're going, you're in the spiral. She's like, wow, that's amazing. And she goes around to the next one. And I was the only one that was there, right? But then she got them all to there. And so afterwards we were telling people what it was. And I was like, what are those little men, those little they have red hair and beards, and they're like, leprechauns. I'm like, oh yeah, leprechauns. Go figure. Because I think of leprechaun as like the Lucky Charms. Hello, fat girl, right? So to me, the Lucky Charms is a leprechaun. But yeah, it was a leprechaun. And I'm Irish and Scottish in my ancestry heritage, but I don't know anything about it. And leprechauns, fairies, I never really thought anything. And I still, I'm not, who knows? I don't know. Could be just my crazy imagination, whatever. So anyway, I floated out on Saturday. My vibration was so high, and it still is to right now. It still is so high. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I go to the casino to get a free frying pan. I end up using free play, not even putting $1 into any machine myself. I walk out the door with $3,800 and I'm just flying high. But no, but I wasn't even going to get money. I was going to get the free frying pan. But I was so in that enlightenment like space. Not probably I'm still there. Maybe not as enlightened, but I'm up there, right? So then I was like, this is amazing. And I'm sitting there winning like all this money at a penny machine, and I'm hitting $750 and this and that. I got from free play almost $1,600. And I took that $1,600, then I went over to the high rollers, and within 10 minutes, I had 3,100, and it was just like, and then I left because, got to be smart too. So then and then I started just giving away money. Like a friend came over and he had been out of work and he helped me move some boxes. I'm like, here's $100. Like, no. I'm like, no. I have to circulate it. This was a gift from the universe. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about, go to Oprah. She'll tell you about how that works. So anyway, so I started thinking about what it's like to be in a high vibration. Like, what is it? And how that affects my weight loss journey, right? If I'm experiencing shame, like I've probably gained a few pounds in the past couple of months. I haven't been doing my shot. I haven't been doing my other product, that my curb. I haven't been doing any of that for reasons that you can come up with, like the water in Guatemala. I didn't have water, whatever. All the excuses. It doesn't matter what it is. It was just a bunch of excuses. Because I pulled up the energy vibrational chart and I have it. Shame, 20. You're negative 20. Guilt, 30. Apathy, 50. Grief, 75. Fear, 100. This is low. Desire, 125. That's another thing. When you go to the casino and you're desiring something, you're in a low vibration. That's not going to help, right? You got to be up here and enlightened. Like, I don't care, universe. If you want to give it to me, great. If not, that's okay too, right? Because it doesn't matter. Because again, money is just vibration too. But that's a whole nother, again, go to Oprah. So enlightenment is 700 plus. Peace is 600. Love is 500. Reason is 400. Acceptance for who I am, where I am, on this moment, at this time, on this journey, right? I accept me, and I'm pretty freaking awesome, right? But am I going into the guilt? Am I going into the shame? Like, people are going to see me and they're going to know I gained a little bit of weight, and I'm not getting on the scale because I'm not even doing that because I don't even want to know. I can tell my clothes are a little tight. I can tell. I don't know. This is hanging. Didn't do my collagen either. That's a whole other thing. But I am now. I have since Sunday. So Alyssa, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I know it was woo-woo. It's woo-woo. If somebody else had told me, I'd be like, this woman's crazy. But you know what? I'm on this journey for a long time and I'm trying to find something that works. And if it just means me being enlightened and turning into a nun, I'm all there. Right. So Alyssa, what do you think on the holistic side of nutrition and wellness, Chris?
Just want to say a little aside. I'll have what she's having. and also, you don't need to go to Oprah because I wrote a book called Manifesting that it's in its 10th printing. Most books never go beyond their first printing. It's in its 10th printing. It's everywhere books are sold.
That
Okay.
is true. Chris, that is 100% true. And I have read that book and audio taped it because, me and my audio tape. Yes, get her book. Just get the audio tape because it's really good because you get to hear her fabulous voice. Yes. Yes. Alyssa, what? And Alyssa's like, I've been in a high vibe for like months. I'm like a rock star. I'm like, of course you are, Alyssa, and you're gorgeous, and you're young, and your hair is fabulous. But no, but you had to take steps to get there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I work on it every single day. It's not just like a natural thing. I meditate. I've been really deep into doing a specific Joe Dispenza meditation, and it just like puts me in like this crazy vibration. But so I don't know if I really talked about this. I've been on a healing journey since 2020, I guess you could call it. And what happened in 2020? There was a pandemic, a lot of fear. So before I became more in the holistic space, I'm a family nurse practitioner. I worked in the ER. I was working with like COVID patients during COVID. So I was in a very strong fear. Like I had so much fear. Not necessarily, and I was pregnant at the time too. So like I wasn't necessarily fearful for myself. I was fearful for my family. I was fearful for, I didn't want to, there was just so much fear, right? I was like addicted to the news. Like I couldn't turn the news off. Like I don't know what was wrong with me. So anyway, so eventually this fear manifested as disease in my body, right? Because when we're at such a low frequency, low vibration, we're more at risk for, toxins to affect us, parasites, colds, flus, whatever you want to call it. We're more at risk for that to affect us and our health. So, so I had my child in September 2020, and then so now I was even in more fear, right? I had a newborn baby, and COVID was still going around. This was before COVID vaccines, right? And my son's father got COVID, and that was like that was the end. I was like, oh my God, if my child gets this, and thankfully kids like were doing really fine with it at that time. So thankfully we took I took supplements and we did not get sick. But I did start having this kind of like histamine, right? Like an allergy reaction after he had COVID. So, I never tested positive, but most likely had it and didn't, have like a symptom of it. But it started this cascade of histamine reactions even a month or two after this fact. So I started having severe food sensitivities. I used to like foods that I would eat normally, I wasn't able to eat anymore. And it just started this vicious cycle of disease in my body. Eventually I got to a point where I was only able to eat two foods, and I was still reacting to those two foods. I had to take so much natural antihistamines. Every time I would eat, it felt like my throat was closing. I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. Most people actually never recover from this type of disease. Is called mast cell activation syndrome. I refused to go to a doctor because I was like, I'm not just going to take antihistamines for the rest of my life. I am going to heal myself from this. And that is how I got into this. My son was very sick at this time too. I'm not going to get into that story, but this all started because of my vibration, right? Because I was in this fear, and there was a lot of victim mentality of like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do wrong? So it just started this whole cascade. So part of my healing actually at that time, because doctors didn't have an answer, right? And I didn't really want to go to a doctor because I was like, they're just going to give me a ton of medication. I actually started doing like Wim Hof breathing. So I really worked on my nervous system. I did Wim Hof breathing. I was journaling. So I would journal how I wanted my life to be, right? Like it was something as simple as drinking coffee, because I couldn't drink coffee, and I I'll admit, like, I'm literally addicted to coffee, and that's okay. Like, there could be worse things in life I'm addicted to, but I'm addicted to coffee. So I literally would envision myself sitting on my porch in the morning, just like relaxing and drinking a cup of coffee. Like, that is like my favorite thing to do. And I couldn't do that because I couldn't drink coffee. If I drank coffee, I would be so sick. So anyway, I would journal of how I wanted things to be, and that's how I really got into this, like, more of like holistic space and just like energetics and things like that. Which, because I didn't have a choice, right? Kind of like what Kara said, like, I didn't have another choice. I wasn't going to just be put on medications for the rest of my life. And that's how I healed myself, right? Most people do not recover from literally eating two foods to go, and now I literally can eat whatever I want. Do I eat whatever I want? Not usually, but I can. um so yeah, so getting out of this like fear or victim vibration and bringing it up. Yeah, so we'll talk about tapping is a really great way to get you out of that. Journaling is another tool that I really love and also I think I talked about this before, but food has a vibration too, right? And if we're eating sugar and white flour, like, these have such a low vibration, and this keeps you in those feelings even more, right? So
It's so funny that
that's
you said that because the other day someone was laughing at the food that I feed my dogs, which is grass-fed organic beef. And they're like, "Well, you don't need organic. You're feeding it to the dogs." And I was like, it's not so much the organic, it's the grass-fed and pasture. I said, you don't want to be eating animals that have lived like this their whole life and living in fear and living in, or
stress.
and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not feeding my dogs that. I don't want them to have anxiety and fear and all of that because you're eating that, right? That's those cells are going into your body. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Those
true.
hormones, right? The
Right.
cortisol, like, if you're eating, a cow that is just fed corn, right? Corn is so inflammatory, right? So you're basically taking on that cow's inflammation and adding to your inflammation and the stress, right? And that's, talk a lot, like, eggs, people love eggs, but the source of your eggs are so important because you look at, even just organic eggs does not mean anything, right? They pile them up and they call them organic because they feed them organic food, but they are pumping that, like, they can't even walk, like, even chicken, like, they literally pump their breasts of so much hormones because most, like, in this country we eat mostly like chicken breast. So they pump their breasts. They can't even walk. Their legs are literally break because their body is so big they can't even walk. So anyway, yeah. So
Yeah. Sorry for that. Like in thing that just reminded me that like that's important too. Like the food that you're
yeah,
putting into your body. It's not just the sugar and well, we all know about the sugar. But yeah. Remember like back in the days with our grandparents and our great grandparents, like they would get their penny candy and that would be like once a month, or maybe they would get one piece of penny candy, right? Now it's like candy bars and it's like it's in all our food and
hmm
just the sugar that you're feeding the kids for breakfast, just
hmm
cereal, right? Just
yeah. It's
speaking
so
of Lucky
readily
Charms.
available. Also, it's like so readily available and so normalized. Like, I take my son to the super. I mean, I don't really shop at like a regular supermarket. Mostly we shop at like a local health food store or like a Whole Foods. But like if I bring him into like a ShopRite, Stop and Shop or whatever, the targeting for these children, it's insane. Like, because he loves like Paw Patrol, right? So he sees like, oh, these fruit snacks have Paw Patrol, I want those. Or, oh, this yogurt has Paw Patrol, I need this one. And that has like the food dyes and the corn syrup and all this. I'm like, no, 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 we're not having that. So it's crazy how they target the children as well.
We shall see. So, Chris, what do we do? How do we raise our vibration? I mean, not everyone can go talk to their Jim Morrison guide and have their leprechauns go through their spine and twirl around on a magic carpet rainbow. So, what do we do?
I just want to say I'm half Irish, so why don't you talk to those guys and just, tell them to come over here. Them and their luck are welcome here anytime. Well, the two of you just brought up so many important things. One of them was the power of imagination, right? Alyssa imagining herself being able to drink coffee once more and being able to love it and enjoy it, and her body really appreciate and enjoy it. And the quality of the food, I can't believe you're talking about the pasture-raised stuff, because I literally just had a conversation with my personal trainer yesterday. I was going through what I was eating. He goes, I don't care if you were eating pastured chicken, just tell me you were eating chicken. It doesn't make any difference. And this is somebody who's going to be going to medical school. And I said to him, it absolutely does make a difference. And so we were able to have a conversation. This is a young, healthy, incredibly fit young man. And he looks vibrantly healthy, but he's about to go to medical school, right? Which is going to be a very stressful experience. And so I had an opportunity to talk about cortisol and adrenaline, because he talks about that from the standpoint of people over exercising and releasing adrenaline and cortisol and all these inflammatory hormones into the body. And I said, well, what do you think? You're talking about that with exercise. What do you think is happening to the animals that we're consuming, right? So it was a really good opportunity to talk about that. And the power of imagination, the power of affirmations, the power of all of this. Listen, none of us gets into this stuff because we've had perfect lives. We move outside of the box of the regular way of thinking and perceiving reality when we've encountered problems that mainstream medical and even psychological aspects can't address, don't make a difference, don't heal, don't make the change. And so all of us that move outside of that usually happens when we have a crisis. And, within crisis is always opportunity. So I think that this would be great to do some tapping on raising our vibration. And so it's really important to start where you are. So that's what we do in EFT. We talk about even though I'm in this current state, even though I am feeling this because of this current circumstance that I'm experiencing, I really want to feel better. And so we're going to just start with going into acceptance of where we're at right now, whatever frequency that we are at. And then we're going to go into a willingness to rise it up. And then we're going to affirm that we're at a higher vibration. So how does that sound? All right. Listen, I've got my fancy reading glasses on today.
I know. I love them.
But we got to tap them off. We got to take them off for tapping, guys. We got all our eye points. All right. So,
See nothing.
okay.
So, I'll mimic you. But
Okay.
just so you know, my vibration's pretty high, but that's okay. I'm just gonna pretend it's low. Because I still got the leprechauns running around my body.
Yeah, okay. Well, you don't even have to pretend, because we're going to just start where everyone is at. Anyone who's tuning in right now is going to be in their own place. And so we're just moving into acceptance of what is. And when it comes to frequency, really the sky's the limit. There's always room to move up in frequency. There's always room to move up in feeling better and better and better. Our emotional and physical health, there really is no cap on it. We can keep going into places where we are feeling great most of the time, right? And that's what we hope our goal is. Okay. So let's start on the side of the hand. Okay. And for everybody out there that's tuning in, I want you to just sort of feel out with how you feel right now. With however it is, low, high, medium, it doesn't matter. But to just start with just taking a little moment to be like, I'm feeling like this. Great. Okay. And then you're just going to follow along with us. So even though I'm feeling like this right now,
Even though I'm feeling like this right now,
the truth is,
the truth is,
I'd like to raise my vibration.
I'd like to raise my vibration.
Even though I'm feeling like this right now,
Even though I'm feeling like this right now,
and there may be some resistance to what that is,
and there may be some resistance to what that is,
For just right now,
For just right now,
I'm letting go of resistance,
I'm letting go of resistance
finding a willingness to change.
and finding a willingness to change.
Even though I feel like this right now,
Even though I feel like this right now,
and I really want to feel better,
and I really want to feel better,
I'm choosing to let go of resistance,
I'm choosing to let go of resistance,
move into acceptance,
move into acceptance,
and allow my vibration to raise
and allow my vibration to raise
easily and effortlessly.
easily and effortlessly.
Okay, we're going to start at the body points, beginning of the eyebrows. How I'm feeling right now.
How I'm feeling right now.
Okay, side of the eye, how I'm feeling right now.
Oh, I'm feeling right now. There it is.
Oh, under the eyes, how I'm feeling right now.
How I'm feeling right now.
Under the nose, where I'm at.
Where I'm at.
Chin, my resistance to what I'm feeling right now.
My resistance to what I'm feeling right now.
Collarbone, my resistance to what I'm feeling right now.
My resistance to what I'm feeling right now.
Underarm point, my resistance to what I'm feeling right now.
My resistance to what I'm feeling right now.
Top of the head, it's okay to be where I'm at.
It's okay to be where I'm at.
It's the first step
It's the first step
to moving my vibration up.
in moving my vibration up.
Beginning of the eyebrows, I'm willing to feel better.
I'm willing to feel better.
Side of the eye, it doesn't have to be hard.
It doesn't have to be hard.
Under the eyes, I'm open to feeling better.
I'm open to feeling better.
Under the nose, and I'm open to it being easy.
And I'm open to it being easy.
I'm willing to let go of what is.
I'm willing to let go of what is
Collarbone, to make room for feeling better.
to make room for feeling better.
Under the arms, I'm letting go of resistance.
I'm letting go of resistance.
Top of the head, and I'd like to feel safe.
And I'd like to feel safe,
Feeling better.
feeling better.
Beginning of the eyebrows, I'm raising my vibration.
I'm raising my vibration.
Side of the eye, I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of acceptance.
I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of acceptance.
Under the eyes, I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of self-love.
I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of self love.
Under the nose, I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of happiness.
I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of happiness.
Chin, I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of safety and security.
I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of safety and security.
And know that it is safe to raise my vibration right now.
And know that it is safe to raise my vibration right now.
I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of joy.
I'm willing to vibrate at the frequency of joy.
And I'm finding delight
And I'm finding delight
in my everyday world.
in my everyday world.
Under the arms, I'm raising my vibration now.
I'm raising my vibration now.
Top of the head, I'm raising my vibration now.
I'm raising my vibration now.
Beginning of the eyebrows, I feel joy.
I feel joy.
Side of the eye, I am open to happiness.
I am open to happiness.
Under the eyes, I am safe to feel good.
I am safe to feel good.
Under the nose, I am embracing my light.
I am embracing my light.
Chin, I am raising my frequency right now.
I am raising my frequency right now.
Collarbone, I am one with love.
I am one with love.
Under the arms, I am love itself.
I am love itself.
Top of the head, and every day and in every way.
In every day and every way.
I am becoming more and more enlightened,
I am becoming more and more enlightened,
which means I'm just lightening up
which means I'm just enlightening up
from the inside out.
from the inside out.
And I'm getting lighter and lighter every day
And I'm getting lighter and lighter every day
and moving into my right size body now.
and moving into my right size body.
Hi, nice deep breath.
I like what you did there.
I
Yeah.
used your wording and brought that in toward the end. I love
Brought it in. That was like a light bulb right there. I was like, oh, look at that.
we're lightening not just our vibration, we're lightening
Right.
all over.
And I bet there's something with that. I bet there's like, I'm sure having too many fat cells and all of that stuff does not keep your vibration raised, right? I'm sure being in a right size body is going to help better, even just on the organs, raising the vibration of your organs, right? So, yeah.
Heavy is heavy all over.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't even, wow. Wow. Bing. See, when you're enlightened, light bulb moments just come. So funny. So, Alyssa, I saw you yawning too. I mean, it's like, even no matter how good we're feeling, no matter what, you just do the rounds of tapping, and it's so easy to do, right? And it's like we're yawning, we're releasing whatever's in there, and it's just making us feel even better. It's just so easy and so good. And I don't know why I don't do this every single day, right? And there's no reason other than I'm going to make it part of my practice, right? My enlightenment practice to just sit down and tap for 15 minutes because I feel good. Because
Well,
I feel good.
a little simple thing you can do. Sometimes people are concerned about wording, right? So they'll tap along to a video or something like that. The truth is just tapping on the meridians allows the energy to keep flowing. It primes the pump so that your energy is flowing through those meridians more freely. You can tap to a song. So, you don't, and if you're looking for wording, use your own wording, journal like what Alyssa shared. Journal out your feelings and tap through what you wrote in your journal. A really easy way to dissipate some negative energy. And I also want to say this, there's a lot of negative energy flying around, right? We are energetic beings. We are all connected. This is E equals MC squared. This is not so out there, guys. This is the scientific reality of it. And there's a lot of negativity out there, but the truth is when you're operating at a really high frequency, other people's negative energy does not stick. As an empath, I am a giant energetic sponge. So everywhere I go, I'm feeling energy in environments and in people and experiences, and that's what I do in my coaching practices. I'm tuning into where people are holding stuff and helping them clear it. So that sensitivity allows me to do that at a really high level. When I'm at a high frequency, I am not taking on other people's opinions about me. I'm not being upset by current events or things that are happening. That stuff just falls off and is neutralized by the earth. When I'm at a low frequency, my sponginess becomes very porous and stuff gets in and it can stick, and then we got to clear it out. So there's a lot of reasons why raising your frequency, finding joy, finding the daily delights, having a gratitude practice, right? Appreciating and savoring everything we have in our life. It's so important on a lot of different levels.
Wow, this was a great, great session. This was yay for us. Yay. Um, and like the lows and the highs, and it's just that's life, right? And let's just keep trying to stay in the high and the light and the high vibration. So thank you guys for joining us, or thank you all for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe. That helps us a lot. Don't forget to check out Chris Ferraro's book on manifesting, and check out Alyssa's website for supplements and other healing. And both Alyssa and Chris are available for private one-on-one working with. For me, you can just follow me on TikTok. Just like, and you can follow Alyssa and Chris on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. But it's just community is so important, right? And that's what we're doing. We have a community here, and we'd love to hear your comments and how can we support you? Because when we support you, we support ourselves. So have a great day. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.